Well, hello dear viewers and welcome to Level Up Reviews. Today I review legendary game Wizardry 7, Crusaders of the Dark Savant. Let's jam! Last time we left Surtech, they released Wizardry 6, Bane of the Cosmic Forge, which pretty much started new era of Wizardry games. So of course, David Bradley immediately started working on a follow-up, Wizardry 7, Crusaders of the Dark Savant. The game was quite ambitious, and it took quite a while to develop this game. It also did not help that David Bradley was working from Atlanta, whilst majority of Surtech's staff was set up in New York. And like before, Surtech brothers wanted to move Bradley closer and set up a development company around him. But as the time passed, it became more and more clear that David Bradley had no interest in this. And again, he would do most of his work by himself. He would contact Brenda Romero, who playtested his games. He really appreciated her feedback. Brenda was so used to his games that she would experiment with different builds. Once she played the game with a party of all-female fairy ninjas. When she told this to David Bradley, he was surprised by this. He even made a reference to this, a special weapon for fairy ninjas, a cane of Carpus. Unfortunately for Surtech, everything was not going so smoothly. You see, in 1981, Surtech made an agreement to pay royalties and gross sales revenues to Andrew Greenberg Incorporated, alongside with copywriting Wizardry games to AG Inc. In 1991, however, Surtech stopped paying royalties. Andrew Greenberg filed a complaint in U.S. District Court of Northern District of New York against Surtech and David Bradley. Surtech asked to drop David Bradley's name from the court case. This was a very long and a complicated court case. At some point, Surtech Software Incorporated closed all of its United States offices and transferred all of its assets, including Wizardry, to Surtech Canada Limited. At this point, Surtech argued that court had no jurisdiction over them since they were set up in Canada. But really, all we need to know for now is that court case strained relationship between Bradley and Surtech brothers. Bradley wanted nothing to do with this case, and he just wanted to develop the games. This resulted in David Bradley leaving Surtech. Because of this, after court case was dismissed, Surtech filed a counter-complaint. They argued that lawsuit caused David Bradley's departure and the delay of the game. You see, game missed 1991 Christmas selling season, which Surtech claimed seriously damaged sales of Wizardry 7 and demanded compensation of $950,000. But court dismissed this complaint as well. Court investigated private conversations between Surtech and David Bradley and pointed out that falling out and game delay happened because of miscommunication. The fact that project was way too big and ambitious to finish in time, programming problems, and finally unrealistic expectations from Surtech. One more bad result of this whole situation was that Brenda Romero lost all the contact with David Bradley. Surtech apparently asked her not to talk to him anymore. Brenda obliged. Sadly, this became one of her biggest regrets, losing all of her contact with her mentor. All of the problems aside, the game was released in 1992, and it was received quite well by both fans and the critics. In 1993, computer gaming magazine Scorpia named it Best Role-Playing Game of the Year. Computer Gaming Strategy Plus magazine agreed in this sentiment, giving the game Game of the Year award. And it's really easy to see why. Wizardry 7 is a huge improvement from other Wizardry games. It is using 256 color VGA, significantly improving graphics. Chris Apple did most of the graphics design, And yes, game looks really good, although I still wish it had more diversity in the level designs. The game is also accompanied by beautiful music. Composer is Stephen Miller. I really love music in here. In 1996, Wizardry 7 Gold came out. This version is fully voiced and narrated.
Standing at the statue, it appears more ominous than before.
Not this way.
It is also terribly bugged. One of the reasons why it took me so long to finish reviewing this game. Not realizing that you can actually play original game on GOG. It is in-game extras, so yeah. The plot of the game is quite simple and complicated at the same time. You are transported to the planet Guardia, where a rumor of a powerful artifact, Astral Domine, draws many powerful players of the galaxy. Yes, this is not just sword and sorcery medieval setting anymore, it adds sci-fi elements to it. Basically, there used to be a genius scientist named Punzang who discovered secrets of universe and life. It is rumored that he hid all of his knowledge in this artifact. There is also a young girl, Vi Domina, who is rumored to be descended from Punzang, and she is your biggest ally in this game. A lot of the plot depends on how you finish the last game, or if you finished it at all. If you sided with Queen, killed Rebecca and King, then killed Bella and flew onto the ship without coordinates, you will be captured by mysterious dark savant, who wants to overthrow the cosmic lords. And he tells you to help slimy spider-like Trang race, who secretly want to turn on Dark Savant and take the artifact for themselves. If you do not side with the Queen and go together with Bella, you will find out that Bella has been in contact with Umpani, a race of rhino-like aliens, and you will travel to Umpani City. Umpani want to destroy Terrain Queen before she breeds too much and overruns Guardia. If you just try to grab the pen, Alycides, a cyborg, takes you to Guardia near Dane Tower. The Dane want to get hold of the special demon horn. If, on the other hand, you start a new game with new party, you are told that you are party of adventurers looking for gold and accidentally stumbled upon Cosmic Forge. Meet Alycides and you will get transported to Guardia near New City. Character creation is very similar to Wizardry 6. You get the usual dice roll to determine your stats. You also get some race bonuses. You have the same races and jobs. Skills are divided into 4: weaponry, physical, personal, and academia. There are 4 schools of magic: psionic, alchemy, psiology, and thaumaturgy. And it is divided in 6 elements: fire, water, air, earth, mental, and divine. The spellcasting is quite fun. Combat is turn-based, but be very careful. Even if the enemy dies, you will still cast the spell. Communications with the NPCs will depend on your personality and charisma. But do not worry, if you have a low charisma, characters with low charisma will also like you. I will have to be honest with you, this mechanic is sorta bugged. You will encounter situations where you do not know why NPCs dislike you. I am not the greatest fan of this system. The inventory system is also different in this game. The weight of the item also matters this time around. And this is a problem because you will need to collect many, and I mean many, plot critical items. And it seems to me that I never had enough space to carry the things that I wanted. Why is this always the problem with the games like this? Either make inventory with large enough capacity to carry everything that you need, or do not make so many plot critical items. And this is a huge problem because I always needed to drop something to carry something else. And unfortunately, you can drop plot critical items. If you're not careful here, you might have a very long game. The game itself is quite long and complicated. It also has a very free structure to it. Basically, it's built on rival factions. Monks, for example, live in holy city of Munkarama. They smoke a lot of funny stuff to access the dream world. Dream world itself is kinda disappointing. I wish there was more variety in the landscape, but unfortunately all you get is usual dungeon design. I wish they got more creative with this. You do meet Sphinx in here, who has a very unusual design. Monks want holy works, which is under their city. Gron want to end the civil war and save their civilization. Honestly, Gron are the least fun part of the game. The most fun is the faction I mentioned earlier, the Danes. Their tower is filled with puzzles. You also get to summon a demon and kill him in a very cool ritual. You will also travel to Redkin Ruins, where you will find aforementioned Cane of Corpus, which is held by Blean Mace. You need to steal it or kill him, both of which will be a very tough task. You will also find out that Redkin want to capture the spaceship to expand their criminal empire. I do not know about this. I don't think this organization will last long. Too many rats in there, you know? You can also betray some of those parties and get good or bad reputation. Witch's Quest is also a lot of fun. You will need to find out names of 4 witches. You will do this by participating in a ritual, using the Necromancer's Helm. Then you will need to go to the Witch's Cave, after which you will tell each witch their name in the mirror. This will trigger a battle with them. After defeating them, you will receive a body part, which you need to attach to the golden sculpture. This resurrects a witch named Helinda, who will give you Elicide, an item which resurrects all of your dead party members if equipped. You even get a ship in this game. You will need the ship to travel to the Dragon's Cave. This will give you access to the Sky City, where Helizoids live. They guard secrets of Punzang, and they want the fulfillment of Crusaders' prophecy. In there, you will pass 3 tests of Punzang and reach the spaceship. Here you will find Ring of Globe and the Map of Globe. Finally, you travel to the Crypt Isles. You can give Bone Comb and Brush to the ghost of the Grown Queen, and you will also go to the Chamber of Gorors. Gorors are very tough monsters, guarding an awesome loot. They are optional though, so you can just skip them. In Final Chambers, you will fight the Dark Savant and defeat him. Vi Domina discovers secret of Punzang by using Dark Globe and her eye. You will need to fly to space to capitalize on your new discovery, and she will ask you if you know where the ship is. The game has 4 different endings. If you tell Vi Domina where the ship is and get to the ship, Dark Savant will appear. He takes Vi Domina as hostage and gives you a choice: girl for a globe. If you will not give him the globe, you will float into the space in endless darkness. If, on the other hand, you will give him the globe, he will keep his end of the bargain, after which Vi Domina will wake up, and together with her, you will fly to space. Now we can go back. If you will tell her that you do not know where the ship is, you can go to New City and face the same option from Dark Savant. After you give him the globe, you will see a fight between Umpani and Turang. Of course, if you will side with Umpani, you will fly into space with Umpani. And if you will side with Turang, you will fly into the space with Turang. In all honesty, all 3 endings are very similar. You will basically chase after Dark Savant. Wizardry 7 Crusaders of the Dark Savant is a legendary game with quite a complex story. I would recommend this game to hardcore RPG players. Unfortunately, game suffers from not being clear enough in certain situations. The inventory system is one of the worst I have encountered. It is also a bit too long. As Robert Zurtek said it himself, it is fine to watch 1 hour movie, 2 hour movie, but at some point, if the movie is too long, you will say, when will this end? The similar can be said about video games. It is fine to play 40-50 hours of game, but when game is 80-90 hours, sometimes even longer, you just tend to lose interest. Not to mention a lot of bugs in Wizardry 7. It might have been a bit too ambitious for its own good, considering David Bradley insisted on pretty much working on it alone. That being said, when you will finish this game, you will get sense of unbelievable accomplishment like no other, and all of the frustrations will be replaced with unbelievable joy and curiosity of what's gonna happen next. Well, my friends, let's get back to the chase after Dark Savant. But first, we will need to take a little detour before we deal with our nemesis. And shout out to my brand new subscribers, Mirex312, Oliver Janev, C. Chiritse, Stefan Waldeger, Jovan Jurek, Kitten Chop, Josh Martin, MP Arkin, Tyke Nigel, K. Kramer, BitJunkie, Zach Hancock, Kyle Olsen, Alos Blatunga, Ryan the Fox 69, Darlon Dos Santos Oliveira Jr., President Snow, Big Res, Chart Cinematic Productions, Caleb Barton, BioIntegno, Darkened Room, Brian Sau, Norman Bates, Logos, Decapitated Fowl, Gerald Churchill, Sixie, Gary J, Josh Mooney, and all the rest of you whose names I unfortunately do not see. Thank you all for subscribing. I also want to apologize for taking such a long time, but unfortunately RPGs take very long time to finish sometimes. Thank you for your patience and have a wonderful day. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe. And don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you very much.